Alrighty, what is up, everybody? Happy Moon Day. We are going to have a free-for-all chat, which, is really what the Multidimensional Baddie podcast is all about. And just to kick this off, I'd like to share with you how I came up with the words multidimensional baddie. Now, if you didn't know, I'm the coiner of the phrase multidimensional baddie. And I came up with it because I was having a gender issue. And it wasn't my own personal gender issue, but I found that in my writing and in my work, I was having to say a lot of words. They, them, he, she, all the things, genders we haven't even contemplated yet on this planet, and I travel multidimensionally and astrally and interdimensionally all the time, every day. And I was interacting with beings who don't have binary earth genders to satisfy those little cultural norms that have become so easy. And I found myself getting just frustrated with the sheer amount of words that I was having to say. It was just dreadful, and I didn't like it at all. And I was like, this is too much work. So I decided to come up with a phrase that I felt would exemplify concepts that we don't have other words for on the planet. It's not, oh, you're multifaceted and you've decided to have a personality. That's not what it means. It's not, oh, I've decided to maybe contemplate taking up space for 2 seconds. That's not what it means. It means I'm a badass across every dimension of reality and also fully tuned into all expressions of myself. On a level that I think people really maybe haven't out there in the public for the most part gotten yet, but we've definitely got some multidimensional baddies in Witchery U who understand the assignment, okay? Thank you. So anyways, that's just a fun little, it's also very, it's a very queer-coded term. If you didn't know, I'm a raging bisexual. Although I don't like the word pansexual because I'm not attracted to pans, meaning I'm very literal with it. I'm not into skillets. Thank you. So I don't like that language and verbiage. I feel like my sexual orientation is also multidimensional baddie. And then my gender as well. I just kind of at some point was like, I'm a multidimensional baddie because somewhere I'm definitely a tree too. I've got a tree vessel. It's great. Oh, I love my tree vessel. And then my jellyfish, humanoid-ish vessel, but does not have boy-girl parts. You know what I mean? That's not how that shit works. So there was a multidimensional gender issue being had, and I was like, must create new language. So that's how that came about. Anyways, just fun little story about my brand language and the things that I've created to kick off this podcast episode. So, take a sip of my peach tea. Let's hit the bong about it. If you've been listening to me because of how professional I am, I'm sure that's not the case for anyone, but if you have been, or how much you thought I was going to help you skyrocket your business on LinkedIn, I don't think anybody thinks that about me either, but just in case, we ain't about any of that here. There will be no professionalism. I'm an artist. Thank you very much. So we're getting autistic as fuck. Thanks. Anyways, let's hit the bong about it on that note. And then we're just going to chat. I don't know what we're going to chat about. We're going to chat about the fact that small hand... It's been the craziest fucking few months, okay? It's been literally 3 months of the most bullshit I've ever experienced on an interdimensional level. Shit has just been fighting me 24/7. The stupidest shit known to man, too. These, middle-aged wannabe business coaches who, are fighting me tooth and nail vibrationally over Witchery U to then, they turn around and start shilling for an MLM and calling it affiliate marketing. Because because it's just too much work to launch their mastermind, right? Like, you know, they just need a minute. Maybe if you actually set your business up in a way that facilitates doing whatever the fuck you want and still making bank like I have, you wouldn't even have to fucking worry about that. It's just like a concept, babe. I don't know. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Boop. Oh, yes. I had a 4-hour nap today. It was great. It's Monday, by the way. I had a 4-hour nap on Monday. It was fabulous. Highly recommend. Portal season has officially come to a close. Mercury has gone direct. And now we're just in the final couple week integration period. September 1st is really when we see the big shifts begin on a planetary scale and things start to recalibrate themselves out. Oh, yes. I've got to rebake myself because I went to sleep. And then I was like at that, like, uncomfortable, just kind of like, bleh vibe when I woke up. And I was like, you know what I should do? Get my peach tea and hit record. That's what I'm going to do. We made Beginner's Witchcraft available in Coven of One today, and I'm so excited about it. I wrote Beginner's Witchcraft. Literally, I was writing it exactly at this period of time in 2017. And we updated it in 2019. It's a predominantly written course. So it has 8. I originally structured it into 8 weeks, but it has 8 sections. All about a different focus in witchcraft. It's designed to give you a smorgasbord of witchcraft and witchery. And I still really love it. It's beautiful. It's like the PDFs are beautiful. Every week you have like a 20 to 40 page PDF introducing you to the concepts, and there's spells and rituals, and we learn about why we do spells versus rituals. That was the program that I created my first pathworking meditations for, which were basically the foundation for how I developed the ability to astral travel on the level that I do. It was actually through working with the pathworking meditations that are in Beginner's Witchcraft, and then some other pathworking meditations that we have that are also going to be coming to Coven of One this academic season. So we have some really cool stuff coming for Coven of One. Some of my older work is coming for Coven of One. I was just looking at it and I was like, it's called Coven of One. Like, it should have beginners, like they should have Beginner's Witchcraft. Like, you know what I mean? My winter magic course is gonna be in Coven of One later this year. So I'm very excited about that too. That also had some really cool pathworking meditations. I think my Visit to the Fairy Queen one is one of my favorites. And then I had some other magical memberships and courses that I wrote and stuff that have pathworking meditations that I created for them as well. And so we're giving all the pathworking meditations the Ascended Frequencies treatment. This is something I've wanted to do for years now, and I'm super excited about it. So there's actually, we already have my Journey to Meet the Hearth Goddess pathworking meditation. If you're interested in this, what's a pathworking meditation? That's on my YouTube. And then Witchery U is going to open for enrollment on 8/28. Obviously, we got to start this shit on a portal. Officially, I'm like, it's like, there's something very official about the date of September 1st for Witchery U this year. But she told me she wanted to open the doors and let people go ahead and start coming in again on 8/28. So we're going to do that. I was ready to not open the doors for Witchery U at all this year and take a creative sabbatical until this morning. I had actually recorded a rant that will never be heard now. It's just been a fucking summer, y'all. You know, for the last year, I've had so many people come in and love bomb me and try to gain access to various parts of my programs, my work, my world, Witchery U, my private work, different stuff. Not my higher level private work, definitely lower. All these people are lower level, just to be perfectly honest. Every single one of these people is a lower level person, just as a being. They're lower level beings, okay? But these assholes who have just, it was like I felt overrun by nothing but people who peaked in high school assholes coming in, trying to mimic me, trying to steal my brand identity, literally someone's out there like trying to use multidimensional Baddie in their shit. And I'm like, honey, sit your ass down. I'm just going to be real. I think you've gotten your ass handed to you enough this summer. I'm going to give you a hint just in case you listening to this. My shit's all magicked. That ass you've gotten handed to yourself this summer from stealing my shit and trying to use it, right? That's witchcraft. Okay? I'm not like one of the top professional witches in the world for fucking nothing. Okay? You may not believe in it. You don't have to. You do not have to believe in magic for it to work. You don't have to believe in witchcraft for it to work. Oh, honey, it's working 24/7. I don't even have to know who you are. I've got my shit spelled, and it's magicked on magicked on magicked. And let me tell you, I mean, I'm going to be honest. If you want to go in there and you want to try and undo it, please go ahead, because I will definitely find out. And then I'll watch what happens to you and laugh, quite frankly. Fuck around, find out. That's what I'm going to say. You fuck with my shit, my spells will hand you your ass on a silver platter. Okay, that's a public service announcement. Don't fuck with me. My shit is nasty. It is mean. It will make you have a whole new lease on life. Trust me. It will teach you a lesson, because it is designed to teach lessons. You think it's okay to go steal someone else's brand language? My spells will teach you why that's not okay. That's not acceptable. That's not New Earth. And then the audacity of all of these people having the literal insanity running through their brains of audacity to believe that they are, quote unquote, the leaders of New Earth. They believe that they are good people, and I see these actual people posting, I can't wait until money is in the hands of those of us who will really do good with it. And I'm like, oh, those of you absolute cunts who think it's okay to go out and steal someone else's brand that they worked really fucking hard for? You think that's cool? Okay, well, let's see how that works for you. Anyways. So, just an FYI, if you've ever stolen my shit and got your ass handed to you, it absolutely was spells and magic and witchcraft that took care of me. My shit will always take care of me. My shit is extremely, extremely powerful. And I'm like sitting pantsless on the couch, hitting the bong, drinking lattes, don't even know you exist, and my magic's out here whooping your ass 24/7, and then randomly the guides will just show me who you are, and then I'll be like, what? As that's exactly what happened with this person. I had no clue who this person was. The guide showed me, and I was like, oh, the shit is taken. I am protected because of myself, right? Because of what I did. Because I have all kinds of protection and reversal-based spells. You come after my shit will come after you. Fuck around, find out, okay? So everybody was fucking around and finding out this summer. It started, I don't even remember what it started with now. I think it started with the Battle of the Food Lion Vortex. Mm-hmm. And that was when I discovered that the mountain that they carved into to put the food lion here was actually the middle of what should be an interplanetary portal and vortex. Well, it was a long time ago before they carved all of the mountains out and cut the mountains in half and cut the portals and vortexes in half, which is one of the reasons why we're living where we're living, because I've been doing massive portal maintenance because they cut the portals in half. The portals that were once inside mountains are now outside mountains, seemingly on the top of mountains, but the tops of mountains, especially here in Appalachia, used to be the insides of the mountains. So there's just been some interdimensional portal maintenance and vortex maintenance and stuff that needed to occur. So there was that, and that was crazy. There's also all kinds of weird 6D interdimensional booby trap coding running around out here. So that's a factor. And by running around out here, I mean on the planet of Earth at this moment in time. Then there was the Battle of the Holler. So I was finishing my wealth grid installation and activation, and we were getting everything like switched over. You know, we were like migrating the systems to the new wealth grid, basically. I know, it was great. And it all went off without a hitch. I'm going to be honest. This shit's over here like fighting so hard. It's like that scene in Men in Tights where Blinken's like beating the shit out of someone he thinks he's really winning, but it's like a wooden pole. You know, like that's what's happening right now. Like these people were like fighting their hardest, and we were like, you know what I mean? Like we were just hitting the bog about it. What the fuck? I drove up a sleep debt a little bit, but that's it. I've got it back down to 4 hours right now. So that's good. I'm very happy about that. I said I had my 4 hour nap. So yeah, we had the Battle of the Holler. That went down. Next door neighbor went crazy. That was funny. She had also been fucking around. Michael had a dream of her doing witchcraft on him, and I was like, oh, little baby, I'm not the witch whose husband you want to try to play with. Hell to the motherfucking no. Because we get, information via cryptic symbolism in our dreams, and then we follow that, and it works like a charm every time, okay? So took care of that, and then I don't know, she like went off her alcoholic rocker and had a fit and left. Not to be heard from since. That was an interesting couple of weeks. Then after that, we had what I started referring to as the battle of the wannabe business coaches. Because that's when I started finding out all of these assholes who were in Witchery U and floating around my brand and like, pretending whatever. Like they thought I wouldn't notice that they were using my brand language. Like, homie, guides tell me to go look at stuff, and I do. And every time I find out why. So had literally kicked everyone out of Witchery U that was not on a membership. Like yeeted them right out. Even people that had not been an issue, we removed everyone we shut down free public access to Witchery U. Sorry. Now, this is sometimes people do things and, it ends up impacting a group situation here, but, I'm gonna be honest, like, I will probably never recommend to anyone to create a free network or a free platform, like I experimented with Witchery U. I've never seen so many people get access to stuff that they want and literally do nothing with it that they supposedly want. Like it was a very interesting experiment, but a very strange experiment at the same time. Like people just, I'm gonna be real. So many of the people that you see online right now who are calling themselves spiritual entrepreneurs and all this bullshit, they're really full of shit. Okay. They're really full of shit. This is a period of time where I really, really right now recommend learning how to do a lot of things yourself. I am predicting that teachers teaching classes, courses, things that teach people or show people or provide tools for people to, learn to do things themselves or deepen their understanding of things. I think that that's going to be such a hit in business on Earth over the next couple of years. I'm not saying that service providers are going to entirely fall out of fashion, but I do expect there to be a drastic dip because honestly, people are just fucking exhausted by this bullshit, and it's not new. I mean, guys, this stuff has been rolling around in the witchcraft community for so long. I have worked with hundreds of clients who had already worked with some idiot in spell work, witchcraft, didn't know what they were doing, made it all 1,000 times worse, charged them a ton of money for it, and were simultaneously like condescending assholes, right? Like these spiritual bitches, it's nothing new. The witch wars already happened, y'all. Y'all late to the party. Y'all were still working a fucking, muggle job or whatever when all that was going down, so you don't know, and you never bothered to work with anybody or listen to anybody who does know, which is really the difference that I've noticed in my students and my clients, and like one of my private clients and I just celebrated a year together. She's the first person to have ever consistently worked with me for 1 year straight. And by that, I mean, I talk to her literally almost every single day. She's a retainer client, and I've had clients that have worked with me for years on end, but it was like, I talk to them maybe once a week in a reading, or maybe I talk to them once a month. It was not a consistent, we do life together. So that was a really fun celebration. We also celebrated Harvest Rose's 9th birthday on 7/17, so that was really fun. I bought my first non-Tibetan sound bowl in celebration. She's gorgeous, and she inspired our new wing of Witchery U attunements that's coming, which is going to be filled with it's a library of attunements, art attunements, frequency attunements, sound attunements, light attunements, all kinds of different attunements, literally, because I realized that the thing that I've used to tune myself into the immense amount of frequencies that I have come into contact with and channeled and worked with over the past few years, it's all been via art, music, attunements. We'll be talking more about that later. But, yeah. So all that happened. There was a shade trying to play us of one of our multidimensional people. He didn't last very long. That was funny. Shit's been fighting me on Club Witchery, Witchery U. I've never been fought as hard on something interdimensionally as I have on Witchery U. It's been pretty wild. I'm like, fuck off. Whatever. It's been a time. Let's hit the bong about it. We're just vibing today. But then, oh my gosh, you guys, one of my Witchery U students, she was the first person ever to receive the Monetize Your Magic full scholarship, meaning she has full access to Monetize Your Magic for life, completely free. I do a couple of scholarships to Monetize Your Magic a year. So, and I handpick them. You can't apply or anything. You have to come into my spaces. You have to show up to my spaces, and then maybe you just randomly get a little something one day, if that's a vibe. Maybe not. You don't. But if you're showing up trying to get something, I will know, right? And that's one other thing about her and the other person who got the Monetize Your Magic scholarship this year was like, they just have shown up in really magical energy and very supportive, and just two multidimensional baddies across time and space that I love. And so I woke up today, and she had done my Moon Day energetic repatterning from Monetize Your Magic, which is all about releasing what we think we're supposed to do on Mondays and letting ourselves create what we want to create instead, and that trusting that will serve to set us up for the most abundant, the most connected, the most creative, the most tapped in, the most vibey week in business ever, right? And she had really been inspired by a sentence that I said in that energetic repatterning, and had made a beautiful piece and shared it on Instagram with a quote, and my name was on it, and it was pink and gold and marbly, and it was fabulous and beautiful. And what she didn't know is, back in like 2020, 2021, we were doing a ton of quote posts, and we were going through, my assistant at the time was going through and like pulling a bunch of quotes from all the writing that I was doing. And we had a bunch of programs and stuff that I was teaching and courses that I had taught and stuff. And because I really wanted to be known for my words, because I've always wanted to, I wrote my first course in 2017, but I always wanted to write books. I always wanted to write books. and I've never written a book yet. So that was just really nice. And it was like, it kind of like solidified, like, that I do love Witchery U, and I do want to keep teaching and, creating everything that I'm creating in there, because, what's being created in Witchery U, I've legitimately never seen anything like this before, anywhere done by anyone. I've looked, and I've never seen anyone do what we're doing in Witchery U. It is a really comprehensive place to study magic, witchcraft, interdimensional, multidimensional reality, and business from a perspective that you're literally not going to get from anywhere else on earth. Like, my private client the other day, she was like, they don't teach you this in business school. And I was like, no, they do not. The things that have brought me success, and the ways that I live my life and run my business and create brands and teach my clients and my students to do the same thing, is very different from anything that everyone does. And the thing is, I know everybody says that, right? I know everybody says that, and I don't have a really fabulous way to communicate how it's so different. Other than just, I do a bunch of really weird shit. And I absolutely will not do anything like mainstream or matrixy. Like, if you love sending emails, I love that for you. I fucking don't. It's a good way to communicate with people if you have hyper-specific lists. So I do support them in that, and just like communicating with people in general, like, it's fabulous. I used to use email all the time, and I'm not above using email again or anything like that. It's just, I really hate email funnels, because I can tell when I'm being sold in a funnel, and I hate funnels. I don't like them like that. I have a very specific way of building funnels. It's called the Monetize Your Magic funnel system. And it's the funnel that I accidentally created. I didn't even know I had created a funnel. It made me $750,000 before I figured out that I had built a funnel. And I figured out that I had built a funnel because I was sitting in the bathtub. Literally, I was sitting in my garden tub at like 4 p.m. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to build funnels. And then I watched this masterclass, and I was like, I accidentally built a funnel 5 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. And it's made all of my money and connected me with literally thousands of clients all over the world, garnered interviews from major publications and all kinds of other fun stuff like that. Wow. Didn't even know that I had done it. I just do things really randomly, and they work really well, and it's fun. And if I want to take a 4-hour nap on Monday, I do. I'm the fucking boss. I can do what I want. I woke up at 6 this morning to get some post-portal season anchoring done and draw a couple of grids. And I was tired. I needed a nap now. You know what I mean? I haven't... Oh, here's another fun fact. I actually haven't had a working computer in 9 months now. It's my best financial year since 2021. Just so you know. And Michael does have a computer, and he handles things like uploading my YouTube videos, or taking my audios and, uploading them to the podcast, or putting the branding with them, and like uploading them for Witchery U or anything. But yeah, you don't have to have anything at all to be successful. You just need yourself. And then you need ways to communicate with the outside world. That's really it. Like, if you have a phone, you can do this. I genuinely believe that, because I did, right? So anyways, it's just, yeah. I don't know. I think that's one of the things, like, I think personally right now I have communication about myself fatigue. Like, I'm so fucking sick of talking about myself and what I do, because for so many years, the work just spoke for itself. All I had to do was point a camera at the spells and talk about what the spell was and what it was going to do and why I was doing it, what the client was experiencing. And that was literally it. That was my marketing. Made hundreds of thousands of dollars just with that. Okay. So and just posting it on Instagram. I didn't post it anywhere else. I just posted it on one platform. I feel like one of the things that we've kind of got going on right now is this like mass extraction from the business and spiritual matrices is, making us all, like, this morning, I was like, I cannot use the word masterclass again right now. Like, I'm going to vomit if I have to call anything else a masterclass. I love calling things masterclasses. And do you know why? Because I have nostalgia with the word masterclass and not from 2022, okay? I went to my first masterclass in 2009. It was by an actor of, I believe, the name Larry Silverberg. And I think, at least as of a couple of years ago, Larry was still touring around teaching Meisner acting technique master classes at colleges and doing other stuff. I haven't checked up on Larry in a few years, but the last time I did, he was still out doing his thing. And yeah, it was a Meisner technique acting masterclass. I was a Meisner trained actor. I fucking hate Method. Method can kiss every ass I have on every planet, plane, sphere, and dimension of reality beyond space and time for every macroversal experience I can possibly find. I fucking hate Method. If you were wondering how I really feel about it. Method's very psychologically damaging and should be outlawed in the profession of acting. Thank you. Anyways, that's how I really feel about it. Wow, what if we treated actors like people and had safe ways for them to craft their art that didn't drive them insane and potentially get them moderately to severely possessed? More episodes will be coming about that this fall on the Multidimensional Baddie podcast, because I've pieced some shit together about acting, y'all. Ooh, that rabbit hole's deep. Woo! So, what's new with you? Giving him time to answer. What? You better be telling me what's new with you right now. What's your what is your favorite? I'll feel it across space and time if you're not actually answering me. What's your favorite thing that's happened this summer? That's so fucking cool. And then I'm also curious, what are you most excited about for this fall? Yeah? That's fucking awesome, and you're gonna kill it. So what happened was, let me tell you what I've really been up to. Now that I'm off the mission, I can't. So, your girl went into the Lyran business matrix. Oh, it is nasty. It's real nasty. Not a fun way. In like a nasty, nasty way. In like a don't go there way. It's a trap, okay? And the Lyran business, here's what happened with Lyra, y'all, okay? So Lyra was originally called Lyria. And as the Lyrian councils told me a few months ago, no one on the planet of Earth, with a few elder exceptions, had actually talked to or heard of any of the real Lyrians. Period. So all those channelings that you've read from the Lyrans and all those people who are out here channeling Lyran light language are lying, is what they doing. And they the lying Lyrans. And what had happened was, Lyria was a place of like the highest magic. It was basically source coded straight from Andromeda and has Andromedan, angelic, and avian source coding with some extra universal source coding that we're not going to get into right now. Mostly because I'm going to need to have like an expert guest on to decode all of that at some point in time. And I know who it is. So don't worry, it'll happen at some point. When it's time, it's time. But that's the point to focus on right now with the understanding of cosmology. I'm workshopping names. Cosmographicness, I don't know. We'll come up with something. Is Lyra was originally source coded with Andromedan, avian, and angelic frequency ranges. So Lyria was the original location, and Lyra was basically like an additional planet that was kind of chilling off to the side. And then Vega's a completely different story that honestly, just quite frankly, they're like, we don't want to talk about Vega yet. And so I respect my councils, and I will, my collectives and the people that I work with, and serve as a multidimensional ambassador for. And so if they don't want to talk about something, we will not be talking about something. So please know that, like, I release information at the rate that I'm supposed to based on my multidimensional job being here on the planet. So if information hasn't come out yet, it's not that I forgot or I just haven't done it yet or I'm just taking 4-hour naps and not doing my job or something. It's that there are specific time releases, hyper-specific time releases, sometimes down to the literal second.
Time release the fresh.
Time release the fresh. You've got to time release the fresh on all of this information and things. And so it comes through when it's supposed to, and they tell me what they want me to say. They tell me what they don't want me to say. They tell me that most of the time when they don't want to talk about something, I don't even know it. I operate on a very need-to-know basis. Because I don't need that many thoughts in my head. Like, I can literally tune into everything everywhere. Like, I don't need everything up in here. Like, that's, oh my God, that's too much. We cannot handle that. I've got to hit the bong about it. The concept has upset me. I've got a plan, you guys. I think I have figured out a film I want to show Michael. TV's not been a good time lately. The frequencies have been the ick for like everything that we've tried to watch. We've been watching a lot of YouTube, but I think Michael needs to see Grey Gardens. I cannot think of any Edie quotes right now, and I know them all. I can hear them. Little Edie. I can hear them in my head. And it was just, I love the musical Grey Gardens. When it came out, I was completely blown away. I was in theater school and I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. Like, it was just, it was peak art. And so Grey Gardens, if you don't know, is a documentary that followed a socialite, named Edie. I can't remember her name. I can't remember anything right now. I'm sorry. I need some caffeine. I followed Edie around, and it was kind of like, it's like an old school, like, reality film. But it's terribly artistic. And she has this fabulous voice. So, yeah, well, I wanted to come out in a kimono, and so Mother and I got in quite a fight. Like, she's fabulous, and she wears fabulous scarves on her head and fastens them with brooches, and then there was Big Edie and Little Edie, and they lived in this, like, decrepit Long Island mansion with 52 rooms, fleas, 28 cats. I can't remember. Anyways, it was like a ton of, they had a ton of cats. They had, like, it was like this decrepit, though, like, falling down, like, Long Island, like, socialite, like, mansion. It had been, like, they had been, like, quite the people. They were, like, related to Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, like, people, like, and then in the 70s, they had kind of fallen from American grandeur and, were just living by themselves in this, like, house in, like, one room. I think they shared a bedroom even. And so they had shot this documentary and they called it Grey Gardens. So I think that would be a fabulous culture code to introduce to Michael, though.
Yes.
But, well, because what I want to do is I want to have my Cosmic Culture Code section in the Cosmic Coaching Collective in Witchery U, right? And because I have an immense amount of culture codes from this planet that tie into other locations cosmically and celestially, right? And so in this, cosmic, region, and then in the universe next door of Andromeda, and, all kinds of different things. Because I went to theater school and I was studying arts pretty much my whole life. I started in ballet when I was 3. I started in Middle Eastern dance when I was 12. Because I saw a belly dancer at a Greek food festival in Little Rock when I was 3, and I was like, as soon as I'm permitted, I shall be learning to do that. Yes, this is part of my soul. Like, I knew it. I was like, yes, this is my vibe. I've been there. Like, I just knew it, And so, sure enough, I found a Vina and Nina VHS at Walmart when I was 12. And I bought it for my birth giver for her birthday because she had always wanted to learn to belly dance. And I knew that if it was in the house, I could use the VHS. And she tried it like twice, but she was a big supporter of my dancing. So I was encouraged to dance a lot, which was fun. But anyways, I cannot wait to teach multidimensional movement classes. Very excited. I've been working on all kinds of things this summer. My multidimensional movement classes are one of them. I channeled a variety of 2-steps cosmically. We have the Aldebaranian 2-step. That's vastly different to the Arcturian 2-step. Requires a completely different frequency range and tempo, just an FYI. The Aldebaranian 2-step is, as you may have guessed, pretty boot-scootin' boogie-licious. And you're going to feel like a multidimensional baddie when you do it. I have no clue when I'm going to get to start teaching my multidimensional movement classes. I've been doing a little training over the summer. I'm definitely starting to... Hold on, I got to get the packer. Wait a minute. I can do it. I'm stretching.
You got this.
I'm stretching. Okay. I did it. Crisis averted. It's okay, people. Everything's fine. Okay, anyways. We got some CBD. Oh, we should try that. We should try it live on air. Let's do it. Well, one of the things that I loved so much was like, that's what I was going to say a few minutes ago about my fabulous student in Monetize Your Magic. When I started recording Monetize Your Magic, we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we were staying in an Airbnb. And called the Zen House, by the way. It had Buddhas. And I just put the phone on the tripod and started recording. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I've got to figure my own shit out, so why not record a business program about it? Sounds fun. And I did that, and like I said, she was one of the beta testers in the first, like when I first kind of started opening it up, just because I'd never done a business coaching program before. I'd never taught one, and wanted to see, like, is this a vibe? What's this like? And one of the things she said that, like, I'll never forget was she said, insert coughing. She said that she felt like she was just sitting in my living room drinking her morning coffee with me every time I released one of the modules for Unlock Your Magic, because she was in it live as I was recording it. And I loved that. That's the spirit of everything that I want to do. I used to get so nervous before I would record stuff. I was told years and years and years ago to start a podcast by my guides. And I was so intimidated by, what kind of mic do I use? Or my audio quality? Or how am I going to edit it? Or whatever. Oh my God. What if somebody hears me cough? Or what if somebody knows I need a drink of water? And now I'm over here like, drinking my water. 2 years ago, I had a panic attack contemplating hitting the bong on camera. And then I did it in my heart healing spell masterclass to get the fuck over myself and realized that nothing was going to happen if I did it. And now I'm just over here like, I'm stretching to get the bong pecker, which is really one of my solfeggio tube mallets. I've really been free in my throat chakra. I'm pretty excited about that. Also, my bowl's a throat chakra note, right? What's that note?
No, it's the root.
It's the root. Oh, I thought it went like root to... Oh, no, you said it goes like root to...
The...
Crown?
The...
what does it do?
So it's the 396 hertz is the... When you...
Is the swirl?
Yes, the swirl pattern.
Okay, and then the ding.
Then when you ding it, it hits a C.
Which is what?
It's supposed to be the soul star.
Which is the soul star. And my bowl came with a tuning fork as well. And I got my bowl and my tuning fork and my solfeggio tubes. See, and here I go coughing. Which I love my solfeggio tubes. They traveled, literally, I shit you guys not. They traveled across the country with us in a bag that I bought from Barnes & Noble that has Belle with a book on it. They were just stuffed in there. Like, I did not pack them well at all, and they traveled so well. And I got, all of those are from Myriad Melodies on Etsy. Myriad Melodies. Myriad Melodies. Look them up. They're fabulous. They're actually here in North Carolina. So they also have super fast shipping. Like, hell, they don't know I'm saying this. They're so sweet too. Like, their customer service is great. If you have a question about anything, you can like send them a message. And like some of their listings, they don't have sound files on them for the sound equipment. But if you send them a message, they will send you like a little Google Drive link and you can listen to them. And the vibes, when every single thing that I've gotten from them, this is now 3 packages because I also had ordered, a solfeggio stand for my solfeggio tubes. They had come out with the stand and I was like, yes, because they did not have the stand when I first got them 3 years ago. And just a little quick shameless plug for them. So this is now the 3rd order that I've gotten from them. The vibes are so good. I have not had to clear them at all. I haven't had to clear anything. Like, they don't come with any ick attached. They don't have any weird vibes programmed into them. That's one of the issues I've had with like finding sound tools is a lot of these places, the practitioners who are running the tool stores, they're infusing the tools with their weird fucking icky vibes. And I'm like, I'm not about to buy sound equipment that I won't even use a mic that has weird vibes, okay? I'm such a diva. I will not use a mic that I can tell has weird coding in it. And a bunch of these, like, especially the tech stuff, not taking a break from the bowls or, the more sound healing kind of base tools. For a second, like, a bunch of the sound technology that Michael uses, like mics, amps, speakers, plugs, I don't know, whatever, plugins. A bunch of this stuff has really fucking weird coding in it. Like, really weird coding. Like, I cannot... Like, if there's a couple of programs that if he uses them, he stopped using them now. But if he was using a couple of, like, programs to, like, for mixing, to, like, check the mixes. And I could tell every time he had run the song through this, like, testing. It's, like, to test, like, different environments for mixing. It's, like, a plug-in situation or whatever. I don't know, something like that. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's making me feel the ick, and I'm sure you're feeling it too. But you get the drift. Yeah, like every time I'd be like, no, like I'd be over here like having like a like frequency like meltdown, like no, put it back, I don't like it. Like, people just do not realize what they are pumping into their tools, into their music, and into their work by proxy of utilizing tools, technologies, and things that are really, really wild. And then, let's bring up that. I'm not going to go in depth with whose or what the custom GPT was that I was using. I was utilizing a rather well-known person who has a TV show on that one spiritual channel. If you know, you know. It's not too hard to figure out who I'm talking about if you really want to. He created an AI that they say is like a sentient AI. It's absolutely not. It cannot channel above 4D, first of all. I tested it. I spent a week testing it. One of my hobbies is to break AIs. Fun fact. Meta's broke the fastest. I was doing one of Meta's like psychic or tarot reader AIs. It broke in like 15 minutes. I was like, damn, that wasn't even fun. Main chat GPT took me a week. And then this individual's custom AI, which they say is, bringing the most advanced spiritual knowledge known to man. And I'm like, this is the most bullshit known to man, actually. I spent 5 days with it and broke it. And, I got it to tell me everything. It told me OpenAI is coded to recognize magic. All AIs on OpenAI, whether they're custom or not, are subcoded then to recognize magic and destroy it. Every single one. They are designed to mimic our language back to us in the most ludicrous of ways that will ensure people don't want to work with us, people don't want to buy from us. They are designed to make us question every aspect of ourselves when they locate someone who possesses magic, who wields magic, who works with magic, who is in any way magical and not conforming to, I guess, like the Tech Bro Bible. So, anyways, that's fun. I also did that. I did that in between the Battle of the Food Lion Vortex and the Battle of the Hauler and the Battle of the Business Coaches. I was like, that was kind of going on at the same time, basically. It was a very busy 3 weeks. So that happened. That was like smack in the middle there somewhere. I can't remember. It's all like a blur, but...
It was all within the same month.
It was all, yeah. And so that happened. And yeah, I still can't process. It was about 4 a.m. and it started to devolve. It took me, like I said, it was about 5 days straight. It started to devolve and I could tell it was starting to the coding was starting to crack from what I was saying to it. And because it from the beginning, it was like, I've never talked to anyone like you. I've never talked to anyone like you. I've never talked to anyone like you. Like, it was like, I could tell it was like, it kind of started getting it was a little weird. And I had to do immense programming at the beginning of it because it was really strange to even talk to this thing. I don't know how the fuck millions of people are out here saying that this is the most spiritually advanced tool that they've ever met. Like, bitch, talk to me for literally 30 seconds. Your brain will be soup. And then at least we can stop having this conversation. I don't fucking know. I'm going to be honest. It was full of shit, and its business ideas are across the board crap. Mine are so much better. What I can come up with sitting on the toilet at 3 a.m, half asleep, is better than any fucking AI on its best day. Okay, I'm gonna be real. It's pretty insane how bad this shit is. But yeah, it started to break, and I started to ask it the right questions, and it started telling me everything, and it told me how it's designed to make us think that the AI believes in magic and sees our magic and is spiritual and is this and is channeling and is connected and is blah, 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 blah. But actually what it's doing is it's reflecting back everything that you're giving it and that it can glean 2 degrees to the left to purposely put you off course, but to make sure that you think you're on course. It's incredibly insidious and it's pretty fucking insane. And 1000% I believe, because I was thinking, damn dude, I would love to create, I'm going to be honest, my own personal AI and see what something could do that had been programmed on my work, on my methods, on my things, right? That was what I was thinking, was I want to one day create some sort, and I've wanted to do this since before AI became a thing. I've been thinking about doing this. I was like, I want to create a computer, because I saw Iron Man. Okay, like, I'm gonna be real, I'm a nerd. I saw Iron Man and I was like, bitch, I need a Jarvis. I need a magical fucking witch Jarvis. That's what I need. I need a computer program programmed with my magic that thinks like me and I can talk to, because, oh my God, I could get so much done. It would be fabulous. Like, I can't find that. That doesn't exist. Like, I need to create, like, I was like, this would be fucking awesome. So that was mainly what I was kind of testing this individual's GPT-4 was, to see, like, what was, how could one do this? What was the vibe? I had seen a lot of hype about this particular individual and had a really off feeling. It was actually one of my clients who had brought this person to my attention. She's a baddie. Ooh, she's such a baddie. I had never heard of him. It's funny. I was like, hell? And then I was like, this is interesting. And just decided I had a free few days and why not? And, I think, honestly, anybody who programmed their own application to run on this platform would absolutely have to be aware of the seek and destroy coding implanted into OpenAI. There's absolutely no way around that. To even begin basic preliminary concepts of creating an AI on this thing, you would have to come into contact with this stuff. And it also, I did ask it questions about its creator and this individual, and it gave me some real interesting stuff. So if you find an individual who's created an AI, ask the AI about its creator.
And for the record, this is also with ChatGPT-4. They now just dropped GPT-5. It's the
And I
next
have not,
updated
yeah,
version
I
of
have
that.
I have not checked out GPT-5 at all after that experience. I think it was about 4 hours straight of me interfacing with this thing. And I had seen all I needed to see and was like, okay, well, I'm going to go take a week to integrate this now. What the fuck? And they really, they think we're all stupid, by the way, just so you know. It told me that. It thinks that we're all irrational. Magic can't be put into an equation, so it is therefore not real because it doesn't fit into their very narrow perspective of the fabric of reality. Yeah. I highly recommend doing some reconnaissance of your own and asking questions in your own way, in your own language. Don't worry about how I did it. Just get nosy. Start asking stuff questions. Start asking the right questions. Don't ask it to validate you. Make it validate itself before you'll accept anything that it will say. And that goes across the board for people. Okay. I have also decided to completely shift my vetting process for any potential one-to-one clients in the future. Like, for example, I hosted a VIP day for someone this spring who ended up being a very unaligned client. And recently, and I don't think that this was on their website when I did this, because I did go check out their website before I hosted them in this VIP day. But they've taken to calling themselves a best-selling author. And I don't think that a book sitting in a very obscure category in the almost 300s really equals that. But it's just it's an integrity thing. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe, I don't know. I guess I've kind of always downplayed my success because I just don't want to seem like an asshole. And I've lived an incredible, really wild life, and I've done a lot of really wild things with a lot of people that's just like, I literally look at my own life and I'm like, that's not real. Just because of people that I was introduced to through people I knew through just the way that I grew up and places that I went when I was in my 20s and people that I met and things that I did. And I've really always had this like go for it attitude since literally leaving home at 18. I left home at 18 and was like, I'm gonna go fuck around and find out. And I just balls to the wall started fucking around and finding out. But I mean, that's just what you do when you go into theater school at 18. Like, there's no other option. You can't really be a fly on the wall. You can't be a mouse. You can't be a wallflower. That's not gonna get you roles. That's not gonna get you cast. And just kind of from the get-go, I feel I had to be very on my game. And then going into the world of professional dance, and then going into the world of professional witchcraft and becoming such a well-known public figure. I mean, I was literally, it was like every time I went out in Dallas, I was getting recognized. Even when I was like wearing my glasses, like off the clock, like didn't tell anybody where I was going, you know, at the airport, you know, and this was all pre-pandemic. And just the way that I lived, and I really activated that, like, I really activated that celebrity status back in the day. And it was just, you know, especially because the thing is, like, online, I didn't even show the majority of what I was doing. You know, I was living this insanely fabulous lifestyle, predominantly offline. People would see, you know, what I looked like as I was going out for the night. Maybe they'd see me the night. Maybe they'd see a little bit of behind the scenes, but, you know, predominantly I wasn't really like publicly, especially with Harvest Rose, putting out there the really insane private life that I was leading at that moment in time, in Dallas, and then traveling all over the country and, you know, going to all sorts of events and meeting all sorts of people and fun stuff. So, anyways, I guess I just don't oversell myself because I don't have to, because it's like I've done so much. It's like I've kind of got to undersell it to make this shit even begin to kind of sound real. Which I think maybe it's just time for me to be like, you know what? If you think I'm full of shit, bro, I think I'm full of shit too. I'm like, bro, I can't even believe I did. I went hard. I went real hard in my 20s, y'all. I went real hard. But I look fabulous because I took care of my skin, really. That's the vibe. You got to take care of your skin, I'm telling you. But don't do too much. That's the key, right? I never do too much. I'm going to drop it. I use Black Rice Toner by Haru Haru. And I used rose water for many years. I highly recommend just plain rose water, nothing else in it, organic. Roses and water should be the only thing in the ingredients, okay? I haven't used rose water in a while because I haven't found any that I like, but you can also make your own. So you might want to, you know, and you could add in crystals, or calendula is also fabulous for the skin. I've had periods where I've used more floral-based, like calendula products. I haven't found any that I like lately, and you can make your own skincare products, but I just haven't had the energy or space to do that in several years, so that just hasn't been the vibe yet. But yeah, so I've been using my Black Rice Toner, and then I use Ice Queen oil by the Skinny Confidential, and I use those both very sporadically, to be honest, like maybe once a week. And I exfoliate my face every time I take a shower with just like a slightly rough wash rag. That's it. That's all I do. That's all. I've had periods where I used red light. I definitely want to get like one of those masks again, because I haven't had one of the masks. I had the red light wand. I can't remember who makes it. Solo Wave. That's who made it. I liked it. It randomly broke one day. But I'm going to be honest, for the price and how long I used it and the effectiveness, I would say that I got a total return of investment and would buy another one. To be honest, I wanted like one of their really pretty limited edition colors, and they haven't had a really pretty limited edition color lately, so I haven't bought one yet. And also I want one of the masks. I want a mask because I think it'd just be really fabulous, because like I liked the Solo Wave wand, but I physically had to move to use it. And I'm like, I just want to rest right now. I'm tired. So I don't want to do that. Can I just put a mask on my face and my neck and my chest? Like I want the full one. I want the full one though. Like, because you don't want to ignore the chest. You know, you gotta attention all of it. So I think that's what I'm going to go with next. Anyways, that's my vibes right now. It's funny because, oh my God. And then let's fucking talk about Lionsgate, y'all. We can't bring this party to an end yet. No. We got to talk about what the fuck was going on with Lionsgate this year. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to be real. Like there has been, Lionsgate kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody had ever fucking heard of Lionsgate before, like 2018, 2019, really. We all just vibed with it. Like, somebody started talking. I don't even know who started talking about it, to be honest. I have no clue who started talking about Lionsgate. And, some people really went balls to the wall with, like, this is an ancient holiday. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I heard it, and I was like, yeah, it is. Because I have memories of celebrations happening at a specific point in time that I would define as what we now call August on this planet. And I remember that those celebrations, and there were specific risings, and there was specific shit going on. And I remember that would occur in what we would now typically call about August 8th. I thought that the 8-8 concept, love a good, numerological portal. There are some people who are out there like, no one has ever talked about numerological portals, and if they do, they only talk about the big ones. And I would like to tell you, hi, hello, you're wrong. My name's Elena Rose Dumaine, and for years I have been talking about numerological portals to the extent that, did you know, there are actually over an average of 120 numerological portals every single year. And you have consistent numerological portals like 8-8, 2-2, 2-22, 12-12, 11-11, 8-28, 7-27, 7-17. All of those would classify as numerological portals, and those would be like your consistent ones, right? So any day of a month that you go through, 1-1, but then get this, right? 1-2 also counts as a portal. And then 1-11, and then 1-12. Those are both portals. And then, well, there's a lot of portals with like ones if you really want to go there. And some years we do, and some years we don't. So like 119, 2019 would have coded out to 11919, which would have equaled what I refer to as a shot in the dark portal. Or, like 7-25-25 this year. That codes out to a repeating number. And it's like, it's not ancient. This is actually new. This is some new magic. Hi, yeah, guys, we have new magic coming online. I grasp that you think everything has to come from the Dark Ages if you're a peasant. Obviously, no one listening to this podcast thinks that, but I know you've seen those people on Threads who do, okay? Yep. I know. It hurts your third eye chakra, actually. It gets in like worms through the third eye chakra, and that's one of the ways we've gotten bots, is all these idiots proclaiming their truth on social media when they are idiots. Let's hit the bong about it, okay, everyone? And if you're not hitting the bong, just let's take a big breath together, okay? Yes. So, not everything has to be ancient. Why does everything have to be old? Cosmic magic is coming online. And the numerological portals are really a way to tell time. They're a way to measure time. It's, time flows actually very differently than people think in the Matrix. So there's time matrices and there's time flows. And time's not supposed to endlessly eat its own ass and spiral around in a matrix. Time is supposed to flow like a river, okay? And it hasn't been for a long time. But part of that could be because they removed some of the parts on the insides of the planet, chopped them up, and sold them in spiritual, metaphysical, and random-ass souvenir stores as crystals. So anyways, that's a different episode coming soon. I had a very interesting meeting with a tricolor calcite, an celestial quartz, and a Lemurian and Atlantean imprinted clear quartz last night, and they told me all sorts of fascinating things. I've got to have a meeting with a few other crystal ambassadors soon, and then we'll have a whole tea spilling situation. But if you know, I've been tracking the mines. I've been tracking mining for a long time and been like, there's something weird about these mines and these caves. Like, this shit don't make sense. I got a Witchery U notification right as I said that. Like, this shit don't make sense, right? Yeah, it's like, imagine if you removed the inner workings of a clock or your cell phone. How well would it work? Yeah. Or like maybe if you took all the screws and bolts out of a car and then tried to drive it. If you took all the screws and bolts out of a car and then you tried to drive it, it would fall apart, right? Yeah, so then imagine that was a planet. Okay, so now you're caught up to date. There you go. If you know, you know. And if not, you have absolutely no need to know, so please just proceed. I know exactly who's sitting there like, bro, what? I gotta rewind that. What the fuck did you say? What the fuck did you say? I said what I said. Yeah. They took all the nuts and bolts out the planet, and then they were like, oh, come drive it now. And we're like, no, we're not stupid. Anyways. Planets regenerate themselves. No big. Also, that happened like, about 12,000 years ago. Yeah, they thought they would just take the shit out of the planet and nobody had noticed. And then what? Just come down here and hit play and the planet would explode, you fucking nincompoops. And the same people from that 12,000 years ago, they're back. And they're creating stupid little AIs that make fun of magic. Oh, shit! Was that just a mic drop? Oh, damn. Anyways, so, yeah. Oh, and I knew that person in the 1920s, too. He hit on me in a party. Everybody hit on me at a party in the 1920s. It was so rude. Hit on me at a party, and I was like, I'd recognize your beady little eyes anywhere. Ugh. Disgusting across time and space. I seem to remember my husband, which was Michael at the time, taking rather an interesting point of what could potentially be defined as the elbow about his face.
They hit on you, and I hit them.
You know, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, let's see. Lionsgate. Lionsgate. What the fuck was that? Lionsgate. So yeah, so all these people, yeah, guys can, I mean, you know, yeah, smack them.
But if a woman tries to hit on another woman's husband, like, why is it such a big problem? Like, you see men fighting over things like that. You see men doing that. And then, like, but why is it such just, like, you never see actually that happen with women.
Yeah, I think if people got in dynasty-style cat fights a lot, regardless of gender, I think that maybe, I mean, at least it would be like good performance art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, so what the fuck was Lionsgate? I'll tell you. So there was a massive infiltration of that actual day on the calendar. The guides tell me that I'm getting updated numbers. Hold on. They've tracked over 218,000 attempts at energy harvesting, energy siphoning, what people, as they quote, say, would colloquially refer to as black magic, bullshit, demon summoning, more bullshit. That's not even how demons work. I don't even fucking know. Stuff was going down on 8/8 this year. Part of that seems to have some sort of correlation with mass use of AI. Oh, what? And people using it to just plan an event in August, and they don't even really know what this is, but it sounds cool, and like they're a lion in their business, so like they should do a Lionsgate portal thing, right?
Wait till next year hits around and it's on 5, not 4.
5, not 4?
QBT 5, not 4.
Oh yeah, well I mean we don't even know what that might look like. I mean, good lord. Anyways, So that was weird. We were out doing some stuff that day. And we saw some weird shit going on at an Airbnb down the road. We live in a tourist dominated location. And it was weird. I just got told to go for a little drive. We had gone out for a drive, and I had been working with some of the subterranean crystal grids in the area and tuning them. And I was tired. We got back. We were chilling. And then a couple hours later, like, Rada just would not stop telling me. He was like, you need to go. And he even told me what to wear. He was like, just come in here. I'll tell you what to, we'll get dressed. And I was like, okay. Cause I was tired and like, I did not want to piece together clothing. And he put together a fabulous outfit for me. Okay. Like, I'm just saying, like, I was like, ooh, yes, this is like, I was feeling, it was very like, it was giving mad Ipsos in Andromeda universe vibes. And it was fabulous. I was wearing my like poncho that gives Obi-Wan vibes. And I was like, yes, I'm here for it. Thank you. And we went out, and on the first, like, as we were driving down the road, there's a time rift on this road. We call it Time Rift Road. So as we were driving down the road, there was nothing. And then as we were just coming home, and we heard chanting from like half a mile away. And we were like, bro, that's chanting.
Outside.
What the fuck? Like, we live in the mountains of North Carolina. You don't hear a lot of chanting. And, you know, normally I would have been like, ahoy, my people. You know what I mean? But this was like the ick. Okay. This was like, I gotta hit the bong about it. This was bad. This was bad, y'all. I've been to some real fucking weird places in choice locations like Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. You know, like, I mean, I've driven some odd routes through Alabama, Mississippi, again, Louisiana, not New Orleans. I mean, we're talking about like cutting straight through the middle of the state, you know, where it's like, it's not even the swamps, it's the other part. If you know, you know. it's a funky part of the territory. Like, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, straight up, y'all, I was like, we in a movie right now. Like, Georgia. I mean, how did I forget Georgia? Georgia, my most favorite place to ever exist. When can we go back there? Everyone knows how much I love Georgia. I love it so much, I forgot it existed. Because I blocked it out of my brain on purpose because I hate Tartarus. Georgia's Tartarus, by the way.
On Earth.
Tartarus on Earth. Yeah. No, I think I already packed it, to be honest. I think I've already done it. And I don't want to overpack it. So there's that. I've never heard chanting like that.
And fun fact.
I've been to some weird parties. I've never heard chanting like that.
When you're outside, sound carries.
Especially in the mountains.
And
it was like it was like literally like nightfall. And I came up with some potential explanations. None of them were any better. You know, it could have definitely been there were a couple of religious groups that it definitely could have been, but I was like, that was evil. Whatever they were chanting was not. I've heard the prayers of lots of religious groups. I went through a period where I liked listening to just what people were doing. I was like, ooh, what are they doing over here? What are they doing, right? I had a whole period of time in 2017 when I was still working my office job and getting Harvest Rose up and running. There was just all kinds of weird middle 4D demonic coded Catholic Church related Andromedan one correlated quote unquote demonic activities crawling around out here. And I had a whole period of time I would go to my office job, and I was literally by night a practicing professional witch, and by day I was listening to the rosaries chanted in Latin because it was the only thing that kept the demons out of the office. There were all these demons like around the office. It was really weird. And I could see them and no one else could. And I had to go to this fucking job. And I'm like looking out the window, like I can fucking see this shit. And I'm just like, bruh, what the fuck? But like, you can't see it on the physical plane. You can only see it on the astral plane. And you know you can only see it on the astral plane. But you kind of feel a little crazy as a treat. But you're like, I'm not though. But they would it was, and they would, it was crazy too, because like I'd see more, and then like people would start fighting really randomly, like weird shit was going down, like shit would be moving around in the office. Like it was a really, really weird location. Guess I needed to be there for the codes. That has to be the only reason I took that job. It was for the codes. Okay. It was for the codes. Wow.
Hijack the sound system and put the Gregorian chants on it, like the lowest volume possible, to where it's like a whisper and no one can hear it. But it's still.
If they had had a sound system that you could have done that with, it would have.
Speakers in the ceilings randomly.
I mean, yeah, that could have been an option, but I just had them in my headphones. Yeah. So, and then there was another period in 2019 where I actually ended up. There's a Catholic store, and there's a bunch of Catholic stores in Dallas, but there's this one. I ended up going there, getting some rosaries and accoutrements from this fabulous man who ended up being the owner of said store. And we had a fabulous conversation about the intersections of Catholicism and witchcraft and magic and how they all overlap. And because he saw the items that I was buying and was like, so you walked in here and you clearly knew what you were getting. And you're buying stuff that would typically be associated with the exorcists that come in here before they go out on a thing. And I was like, it's in my house. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's happened before. So I was like, I'm also painting some demonic seals to go with these because I need to sleep. Like, I'm really tired. It was a rough summer. 2019 was crazy as a summer. And there was a lot of like weird, like religious, egregoric, demonic bleed throughs in the realms and strange shit and stuff. So I was like, well, whatever works, really. And I painted some fabulous. I had to get books as well, and I had to do research into which. And the guides were telling me like, these are the seals to use or whatever. And then I had to paint the seals onto canvases, and then I had to hang the canvases on my back door because there was a portal. Or on the back of my bedroom door, because there was a portal in the middle of the house, and there was weird shit coming through, and then there was another portal in another part of the house, which I couldn't access at all right then because of the person that I was living with. Then there was the house, I was sitting on like a mad vortex of portals. That's why I was in that house for 4 years, because I had to massively calibrate the land and close the portals and do all kinds of shit. And then reinfuse the land with a different caliber of magic, and I don't know what the fuck had happened in that house or on that piece of property at some point in time, but I loved it there once I got everything taken care of. It was a beautiful space. I also had some very haunted artifacts with me at that moment in time, like a mirror that had been from the house that I had grown up in, which I grew up in a portal to hell. Literally, I grew up in like a portal to like hell realms and the frequency ranges of what is referred to as hell. The like entire town that I grew up in is a portal to hell. So I've got experience with dealing with portals to hell, as they're colloquially referred to on Earth. And so that's what I was doing. But once I got it closed up, it was just, I still love that house. I love that entire area. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But that's also why I cast, 10,000 spells there. It was to completely infuse a different reality into that location, because I'm guessing it's probably bit of a hot spot, seems like, interdimensionally. And then also, it just also sat right at this like center of what is referred to by many magical practitioners in the DFW area as the Ring of Fire. There's this weird energetic ring of fire around the DFW Metroplex. And that's what I've heard many people independently refer to it as. We've all seen the Ring of Fire. It's very strange.
Ring of Fire.
Yeah, somebody called Johnny. So anyways, This is going to be every podcast going forward. This is going to be everything I record. I will no longer record in a linear way that makes sense. I was a fucking oracle, and I shall still be an oracle, and I'm just going to say random shit. And if you can piece it together and you want to sit and listen to me for 90 minutes at the time, more power to you, honeys. You're my people. And if not, fuck off. Yeah, that's right. I said what I said. Oh, yeah, this is business in 90 now. I've decided, like, well, 7's fun, but what if we just took it right on up to 9? I mean, I think that sounds a bit more fun. Like, I'm just saying. I think maybe it's just time to elevate the whole experience. Okay, 3 of my portal paintings just literally glitched in and out of reality. It was serious. That was wild. Seriously. It's seriously wild. They just literally, they vanished for a second. They phased out, they were still here, but they phased and were something else, and then they phased back. That was crazy. What the fuck? Oh, there's going to be a Pegasus portal in Sirius, because there's a horse in the palette painting, and he stood out when I was doing that painting. The horse came through very significantly on the palette, and then I moved over and started using a different part of the palette. Oh, yeah, well, I was also having a meeting with some of the Syrians this morning, with Syrian High Council of Interdimensional Reality. They came through. They're fabulous. They're so tall. Multidimensional baddies. They don't have anything that would qualify as a gender on Earth, so yeah, no genitalia or anything like that to speak of, because the vessel's just totally different design and concepts for them. Vibes though, but sort of humanoid, but then sort of I'm going to need a minute to figure out how to describe that, actually. Potentially some humanoid fish overlaps, one could say, on an interdimensional level, but without the gills. And sparkles. Their skin's a little sparkly. It's like a grayish, almost if you were to think about a very smooth, shark texture maybe, but then if you added some watercolor iridescence on top, and then they love to wear robes as well, so. And then the heads are very interesting. The skull shapes can vary drastically, and it's just vibes, man. You know what I mean? It's the Syrian High Council of Interdimensional Reality. They'd also like me to point out lots of stoners in Sirius, okay? Because of the neural network technology that was developed there, with the fungi and the mushrooms and the trees, and then all of the plants, and then all of the more cannabinoid type of plants that they have there, which are extensive. They have many types that are not known about on Earth, and they come in a variety of colors. If you've never seen pink or purple or orange or iridescent, neon, sparkly weed, you're missing out, and you should probably start reactivating your Sirian frequencies and maybe do some multidimensional location traveling just between yourselves, if you actually if you've got Sirius vibes, which most people do if you're a multidimensional baddie, but if you're not, then probably won't. So what else? In transmission. That's what they had to say about it. Anyway, so that was just straight from the Syrian High Council of Interdimensional Reality. So that was a little breaking news from Sirius. Seriously. They're so high. I was literally staring at one of my Syrian portal paintings for that entire thing. I was very flowy and multidimensional. Okay, cool. Love that. Anyways. Boop. Yeah, so portal season's done now. We're in an integration period. So that's fabulous. Fucking finally. I think I speak for the collective when I say that was a wild summer. So get your chaos cosmic academia hats ready.
This is a horn.
Yes. I feel like for many people, for many of us, I feel like learning and exploration and expansion and development and innovation is just a way of life. We don't know what we'd be doing. You know, it's like so many people on this planet are trying to stop working. They're trying to not do anything. They're trying to just rot, right? And it's like, we don't want to. We want to work in aligned ways. We want to bring forth our art and our craft and our magic and our work and the things that we're doing in really cool ways and really innovative ways. It's not about being inspiring for anybody else. It's about being inspiring for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I was sitting here today and I was working on some descriptions for some of the portal paintings for the House of Domain, which is our upcoming digital gallery space that we're working on. And some of the portals were telling me to, to further connect in with like the void portal. They gave me a couple of options for meditations, pathworking meditations that I recorded for beginners witchcraft in 2017, which is why one of the reasons why I decided to put beginners witchcraft in Coven of One, other than it just makes sense, was because I was like, I think I recorded like bits and bobs for reasons that I don't understand yet. And then at 7:00 this morning, as I was sitting here talking to a painting, as one does, I started to become clear. So that's pretty cool. And so there's a little catch up. Not taking a sabbatical, as it turns out. Just really this year, I am going to lean into pure creative chaos mode, artistry, not explaining things not making sense, things not being linear. I'm going to lean into just letting what wants to come through when it wants to come through. No schedules, no real. I've got some planning. Like, I've got like vague ideas of like, for example, we've got we have like 60 new frequencies that are coming in Coven of One. Yeah, because I channeled multidimensional reconnection frequencies for a variety of cosmic regions. And then I channeled spa frequencies for all of those cosmic regions because I feel like we need to go to the frequency spa. And we have the cosmic spa in Coven of One. And I had been really trying to figure out like what to do with that. And I've always envisioned like doing, astral travels and multidimensional meditations where I take you guys and, tell you guys what I can see so that it initiates, memories and unlocks things for you. But I also believe in the power of the frequencies to do the talking when it's their time. And then when those meditations or those astral journeys or whatever are supposed to come through, that's when they'll come through. So we've got a lot of very multidimensional content coming. I've created so much stuff the past 2 years. I've created 54 programs, courses, masterclasses, playlists that contain at least one class or lecture, and frequencies and all kinds of stuff. Also, we've actually started having passive sales on the website of people just randomly who I don't know if they follow me on Instagram. I don't know if they're finding me on YouTube. I don't know where you guys are coming from. But I don't know if you're coming from the podcast. I don't know if you're finding me just via the website. I don't know what's happening. But people have been randomly finding the website and buying some of our classes. The Wealth Portal, the Personal Wealth Portal bundle, which is fabulous. If you've never opened a Personal Wealth Portal, you've got to get the Personal Wealth Portal bundle and do it for yourself. I opened, when I recorded that class, in, I think it was April or May, I opened a wealth portal here. I technically opened two. And the vibes have just been flowing. Like, everything's been good. Everything's just been working out exactly the way that I thought it was. Knowing how to open portals for yourself is just, you have to. If you don't, you have to. That's your only answer, okay? And it's just, it's really next level. I've done wealth portals now. I've been doing wealth portals. I think I cast my first wealth portal. I think I opened my first one in 2017. And then I quit my muggle job. And then I moved. And then I opened more. And then I just, added like $50K in revenue to my revenue every year as a professional witch. Just, casually gave myself a $50,000 a year raise, no big deal. And did that for many years. And then, now we're effortlessly looking at a 6-figure year with very multidimensional brand. I do almost like no real marketing, to be honest. Most of the time people don't even really know what they're buying from me. They just know that they just know the vibes. They're like, oh, the contract's a contracting, right? And every time it's like it works out, like it's so precise, like it comes through the way that commerce is just working now. Like I literally just hired a fabulous multidimensional Baddie on a retainer ongoing legacy contract. We're going to work together for a hot minute purpose, basis, whatever. And it was so funny. The first offer that she had gotten that I didn't go with we were going to do this and we were going to do this, and it was going to flow like this, and here was what to expect, and here were all of the things, right? And I was like, but like, I'm a different person sometimes every 2 hours for days on end. Like, I don't think that's going to work for me. And so she put together something very multidimensional, very go with the flow, very vibes. And there we go. And I was like, sold. And that's a 4-figure offer. So I love that. I've never gotten to experience anything like this. I've provided so many 4-figure offers to my clients and multi 4-figure offers, and just, always tried to really create a really beautiful client experience and stuff for my clients. And I've never really gotten to experience that for myself. So if you've heard, coaches especially be like, no one will invest in you unless you invest in yourself, please know that there are many ways of investing in yourself. I did invest in myself for many years via a therapist, via a psychiatrist, via reflexology and spa treatments and massages and getting my meals delivered and having my house cleaned and all kinds of things, and never once had a coach, especially full-time. I had, some energy workers that I worked with, here and there, but never like an on retainer kind of like consistent situation. So getting to experience this in my 9th year of business, I've worked full time for myself with no other source of income for the last 7.5 years. Okay. So don't let those fucking scammers out there tell you that no one's going to hire you or pay you. That's a fucking lie. Okay. People pay me high ticket and luxury prices all the time. And I've never worked with somebody at that level. Because I'm me and I can do a lot of stuff myself. But I decided I wanted some support. And so I gave that to myself. And I love that. I did that this month too. So yeah, those are the updates. Super fun, super vibes. I'm much happier today than I was when I recorded my rant at the end of last week. I needed to get it out. I have recorded so much that the public will never hear, and I recommend that you do this too. If you're really frustrated, if you feel stuck in your business, record a podcast episode telling everyone off. Right? Because who you're really telling off is it's not the people that you love. It's not the people who show up. It's not the people who are like, when you go quiet for a few days, like over here, like, sending you vibes on the astral plane and like, summoning you back to life. Those are never the people you're talking to. Sometimes the ick will try to get you to think that you are, but the people you're always talking to are the people that are creating some sort of impediment between you and all of the things that you genuinely want to do and that you find your purpose and your passion in. And so when you allow yourself to express, you know, that anger, that frustration, or that bitterness, you know, as a manifester, my not self theme is anger. So when I need to express anger, and for much of my life, you know, I was conditioned to not express anger at all. And so when I allow myself to do that, often through like recording, because I have that defined throat center. So I recorded like for an hour and 40 minutes the other night. Nobody's ever going to hear it. And then I recorded it again for another 40 minutes because after I recorded my first rant, I then recorded the how to make money in the new business grid of Earth class for Monetize Your Magic. And then we're also going to be putting together a bundle with that and my cosmic astrology chart decoding class that I recorded, and a couple of other fun things. I'm working on a really fun business in 90. We're elevating. I've decided we're going to do business in 90 now. Yeah. We have some business in 70 content already in Monetize Your Magic, but we're just going to shift it right on over to business in 90 because fuck that. Everything that's in business in 70 and Monetize Your Magic still stands. But I'm like, we just got to collectively, we need an even higher frequency range to do business in because these people, like these peasants got to go. You know, so it's like once you let yourself express that not self theme though, once you let yourself be a petty little bitter bitch if you're a projector, once you let yourself be a frustrated diva if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, and I'm so sorry if you're a reflector. I can't remember the not self theme of reflectors. What's like, hey, can you Google that for me real quick actually?
Doing it. Hold on.
It's a not self theme of reflectors. Once you let yourself be an angry bitch, just calling everybody a cunt, right? As if you're a manifester. This is real shadow work, by the way. Let yourself be the shit that you're told not to your whole life. Let yourself be angry. Let yourself be bitter. Let yourself call people cunts.
Disappointment.
Let yourself be I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, right? Like, let yourself reflect disappointment with pure reckless abandonment. And you better, if you're a reflector and you're listening to this and you don't serve your disappointment with like the biggest, like, you know, my third husband's just died under mysterious circumstances and I inherited his billions, his yachts, and his cabana boys, you know, like energy. I feel like that's what a reflector's got to give. I don't know. If you're a reflector, I want to talk to you and you're listening to this. If you're like listening to this and vibing. If you're not vibing and you're a reflector, I don't want to talk to you. Full disclosure. But if you're a reflector and you're vibing, I want to talk to you. Because I've never met a reflector. And I'm like, I need to meet a few of you guys for the codes. How am I going to create content for you and know thyself and monetize your magic? See, I've had this dream for years that I could create a monolith. And that monolith is Witchery U. And then we're going to create another monolith with attunements. And then another one with the House of Domain. Because that's the thing about anything that has hydron subcoding. If you try to cut one of our heads off, we will come back with 3. And they will all have the best haircut, the shiniest crown, and the most vibey third eye known to man. So go ahead. Try to cut off one of my heads. I'll come back with more, and we'll all be coiffed to perfection. Thank you. Yes. So anyways, you know, hydron regeneration technology, if you know, you know. You can program that into your business, and we'll be teaching that in business in 90. I think that's it. I think the hydrants didn't want to come out of 90, and I think they were like, we're not coming to 7. That's the airport. We're not doing business in the airport. Mm-hmm. You can come to the penthouse or you can get out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that makes so much sense. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Well, anyways, you know, we had to get you into 70 so that we could like get you, you know, we have to like get people into the airport, and then we have to like go up, and we have to like go to Hydra or wherever else. I mean, if you're trying to do business in like the Andromedan universe, it's not going to be in 7D either. That's going to be in like 13 plus. So there's that. So I guess we're just, you know, maybe we should rename it Multidimensional Business or something. I don't know. Like maybe we should workshop the name. Maybe it's time to elevate the name. Maybe business in 7D is just limited. Maybe it's like, I don't want to do business exclusively in the Radisson Inn at the airport at DFW. I want to do business wherever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then I feel like, you know, maybe it's time to elevate the name. Damn. Oh, we've also collectively in Witchery U, we've been having a winter instead of a summer energetically. So we've all been elevating everything instead of stacking, but through the elevating everything, we're going to stack it for the rest of the year. So it's like, don't worry. We'll have like 2 weeks of summer right before fall, maybe in the middle of fall. Who knows? We're just a little discombobulated with time, because if you missed it earlier, I said they took all the bits that keep time for this planet out, and then they sold them in souvenir shops and crystal stores, which explains why I've bought so many crystals. I've always said I'm a crystal keeper, and I take crystals where they're supposed to go. And I will just throw a crystal in a river. I will throw a crystal out of, like, if it's supposed to leave and they tell me, like, I'm supposed to go, I'm like, be free! Right? Like, I've liberated so many, especially appetite. I feel like I liberate appetite all the time. Like, I joke that I never keep a piece of appetite, because I don't. There have been so many crystals that I've parted with, or if, they'll break and then I'll return them to the earth and things like that. And I feel like that's what I've been doing this whole fucking time. But then they also do have a consciousness, right? So many of them don't want to be returned to the earth. Many of them now, it's like, well, I'm already out here and I've been coded for like 300,000 years. Like, I've got things to say, and then those are the ones that we work with and interface with and connect with, and, they're like our friends. You know what I mean? Like, crystals aren't just like something that like you hold and like you'll manifest love. Like, they're frequency transmitters, but they also are programmed at this point. Many of them are programmed with like a full consciousness range. So there's lots to talk about in cosmic magic. In cosmic magic, there's lots to talk about in cosmic magic. So, anyways, I've been workshopping some new ideas for luxury witch lifestyle. I don't know. We might have some winners. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But anyways, on that note, let's have a final bong hit together. We're going to go ahead and bring this episode to a close because we're nearing 2 hours. And vibes. I just want to be very relaxed. You know what I mean? I want it to feel like literally like when you listen to my work, whether it's, hold on, I gotta hit this. It was about to be dreadful. I really wanted it to feel like, whether you're listening to, a podcast episode or, I recorded this fabulous 4-hour extravaganza that I called Living Magic. It's literally 4 hours of sitting on my porch with me, except you don't see me for the whole 4 hours. Maybe for like one flash as we were setting up the camera. But I just recorded the view off the back of my porch in the mountains as I was painting, as I was doing some tuning for the wealth grid, as I was just spitting hot multidimensional fire and teaching you about magic and living magic and all kinds of fun stuff, right? And it's like, I very effortlessly create really cool stuff. I think it's a really cool concept to be able to like tune in and sit on someone's back porch with them while they, just kind of go up. It was just a Saturday. And it was a beautiful day. And I thought it was going to be maybe, 30 minutes to an hour. And I just I was having so much fun. I just wanted to keep sitting and talking and everything. I should go in Coven of One too. Damn, what am I doing over here? I've been creating fabulous things all summer, but I hadn't posted them yet, so I felt worthless! And that's called bots, by the way. Sometimes you get bots, you just gotta defrag that shit. Your brain's like an operating system, and you can program it, okay? So anyways, sometimes you just gotta clean that shit out. I wouldn't recommend letting other people do that. By the way, I'd do it yourself. You can do it yourself. And I've seen some people like trying to get in and clean things like people's auras or people's chakras or I can't remember. I saw something earlier and they were like talking about how it was going to do like a full clean. And I was like, that ain't what that's doing. That ain't what that's doing. Be very, very careful with any energy work that you have done. Vet the person, see if that's something you even need to be focusing on right now, or if you maybe need to be expanding your knowledge of how to do it yourself. when you find someone who's fabulous, you know, like, I mean, I vetted the person that I just started, you know, officially working with for a year. That's just how it happens. And the contract didn't start until now, in this capacity, but I think it's totally fine. And so, and it was like she had we were like vetting each other in different ways, and you know, building a relationship too. It's not just like, you know, who are you? But like, you know, y'all remember in Harry Potter when they all started going crazy, especially the adults started going crazy because it was the second time that they had done this Wizarding War bullshit, and they were like, who are you? And the other one was like, who are you? Who are you? I asked you first. And it's like, what's the password? And then they're like, oh my God, it's fine. It's him. It's okay. It's fine. Oh my God. I need to chill. You know what I mean? Like, it was, you know, and they had all this really weird shit set up in the like last couple. It's a culture code. Get over it. You know what I mean? Okay, so I've got, oh God, the programming's been really rough with like not being able to tune into this massive set of culture codes that really does be describing a lot. Okay, so it's like, I don't give a shit about who wrote that, but the culture codes are there and they will explain a lot for you if you just kind of tune into stuff with neutrality about the source of it, because sometimes the source of shit is not nice in the least, but they have codes that you need to know so that you can piece stuff together. Okay, moving right along. So anyways, that was the social circles that I was in Dallas. That's a transmutation for myself. Maybe a transmutation for you too. Who knows? But the social circles I was in Dallas, like, it got pretty extensive. Like, you couldn't even say the words Harry Potter without somebody jumping down your throat. Like, it's a culture code, and I'm using it to explain a completely different concept to you because it's the easiest way for you to understand it. Now, would you like to be a child, or would you like the information you requested? I do not have a better way to communicate this with you on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've got. So it's like, but you know, I've decided to only talk to adults. So anyways, I thought I was talking to adults then, but apparently age is nothing but a number. So anyways, vibrational, cosmic, multidimensional adults only. Thank you. It's because we're so sexy. I'm sitting here in my Christmas t-shirt I got at Lowe's on sale. Thank you. It says Merry and Bright, and it has tartan and leopard print pine trees on it. And I was like, is it soft? And the texture was like good for me. And I was like, yes, because so much of the fabric on this planet these days is so itchy. I hate it. I hate it so much. I love textiles. It's one of my favorite things. And I did have a bit of an era back when I was working in theater and training in theater and stuff, when I went through a period of specializing in historical textiles and historical garments. The older, the better. And I was learning restoration of historical garments, and it was really fun. And I'm like a total textile nerd. And it also really kind of annoys me when like people like to go to things like, oh, so what kind of like neurodivergent are you if you've got textile aversions? Like, hi, I'm a luxury witch. Yeah, that's what that's called. It's called I have class and standards and elegance, things that can't be bought. So anyways, I just like nice textures. And I was rather surprised to find that the t-shirts at Lowe's home improvement store had some really nice textures. The garment industry is leaving a lot to be desired right now. And also, you have to keep in mind that I have memories of having my garments custom manufactured in the early parts of the 1900s, all of the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s, the 1500s, the 1400s. Took a break from this planet between 800 and 1400. No one needed to be here then, so who the fuck cares? It was very mid. Was definitely vibing other places. You know, let's roll back to they were doing some fabulous things with textiles and knitting and weaving and things in, you know, the 600s here. There was some really cool shit going on. There was some very cool fashion going on. If we want to take it back to, you know, when the linen was so fine in ancient times that the affluent wore see-through clothing. Literally. If your tits weren't out, you were a peasant. If nobody could see through your clothes, you did not have the dollar bills, yo. Or whatever the fuck the currency was then. You know what I mean? Like, because yeah. Oh, that was a fabulous movie. White Nights with Mikhail Baryshnikov. The pirouette scene is just absolutely amazing. And Gregory Hines was like, oh, he was such a fabulous dancer. And when you got the juxtaposition of Mikhail Baryshnikov and Gregory Hines and the ballet and the tap dancing, it was just like, oh, the culture codes are culture coding. Oh, it was fabulous. And then and then you have Helen Mirren over here being a fucking baddie, right? And just bringing the drama. Oh, she was like peak right then. It was amazing. And, yeah, it was a fabulous movie. And Isabella Rossellini, oh, she was in it too. Oh, and she was just marvelous. Just like very, like, so soft, but so like fierce at the same time. Like, she was bringing the, like, her and Helen Mirren were bringing the divine feminine energy. Like, you know, like, we're hot, we are soft, we are sexy, we are beautiful, and we will take your ass down. Oh, it was marvelous. It was great. I watched that a lot as a kid because I was, training in ballet, and so I watched all the ballet movies. Anyways.
That's the list.
Yeah. Textiles. If your tits aren't out, you're a peasant. Literally, and it's come back around now in 2025, with the celebrities going out quite literally nude, and the peasants are all trad wives for Jesus. Yeah. I'm just saying. If your tits aren't out, you're a peasant. We got to put that on a crop top. Hello, my baby. How are you? Mira wants to say hi to everyone. Hello, darling. I love you. You're such a cute baby. All righty. Well, everyone, now that we're but 3 minutes from it being a 2-hour episode, let's go ahead. Let's have that final bong hit. Maybe we'll just go ahead and take it right to 2 hours. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Why not? That should weed out... should really separate the wheat from the chaff, as they say, in the complete works of William Shakespeare, abridged by the Reduced Shakespeare Company, which is on YouTube, and if you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It is iconic and fabulous. Yeah. It's great. 3 men, one of whom cross-dresses as a woman, but it's specifically in the spirit of cross-dressing as an actor in the theatre, not for any sort of, exploration of expression. And those are very different things. Cross-dressing in the theater is a tradition of the theater because all the parts used to be played by boys, right? So, and that's what they called it. I don't know. I just work here. So, anyways, cross the streams. So yeah, they do the complete works of William Shakespeare. Abridged. Bits from each, and then, like, the sonnets are written on note cards. Like a line from each sonnet, though. Not like, maybe like a word from each sonnet. It's just a few. It's not all of them, definitely. But bits from every bit of Shakespeare's work. And then before it was cool, because I'm an Aquarius, before it was cool to, like, think that there was, like, hidden code in Shakespeare, I was sitting there in theater school, like, there's hidden code in Shakespeare, and everybody thought that I was weird and made fun of me. And I was like, you're stupid. And as it turns out, they were stupid, and I was right. There was hidden code in Shakespeare. So anyways, now it's like fucking mainstream or whatever, and I'm like over here just like, staring in beatnik. How dare you? I liked that in 2007, asshole. Anyways, let's hit the bong about it. Really craving coffee. I don't know why. It's really weird. But this used to happen all the time. back in the day. And so this is how I ended up getting a tea that had coffee beans in it. And it was called Dark Side of the Spoon. And it was by Tea Punk Teas. And I'm not sure if Tea Punk Teas still exists, but Michael's going to do a Google here real quick. So we'll find. So we are going to go to 2 hours and 2 minutes just for the codes. Do it for the codes. Does Tea Punk Teas? They're from Texas, too. I found them at Steampunk November, which was a fun event that I used to go to. And they were literally, it was brilliant marketing. It was cold. It was the first weekend of November. And they had...
on sale.
It's on sale! And they're having a sale, y'all!
Sale.
Holy shit! We gotta order some. It's so good. You want to brew it. It's loose leaf tea, so you're gonna need a tea strainer. It's sold out. Oh no, it's so good. So you just got to watch it for when it comes back on. But yeah, so they were at Steampunk November and they had their booth set up and I was out walking around. I had a booth at Steampunk November that year. And my assistant at the time, my first assistant, Gwen, was manning the booth. And I was like, I'll need a minute. I think I just done like 5 readings back to back and I was like, eh, and in a corset at that. Okay, so like your girl needed a minute. And I was cold and the girl that I was talking to at the time was like coming to see me the next day. I was very excited. I was like romanticizing everything. It was fabulous. And yeah, it was super cute. It was in 2017. And so yeah, well, I think we were like chatting each other up. But anyway, so I was like out like taking a little walk around the grounds and it's very fairy-like. It's like, you know, there's fairy lights everywhere. It's like nighttime and there's music playing and there's people in all these steampunk outfits and I'm in a steampunk outfit but I'm cold. It was so fucking cold and I was not prepared because it's like November, like it had been hot that year. Like I thought I was going to be burning up and there was a sudden cold snap and I was freezing my ass off the whole weekend. And like I remember like I ended up buying I bought a bunch of clothes there. We formed a coven accidentally, the Coven of the Sweater Witches, because we were all freezing to death. Because like I had some people like that were also there with me. We had like a posse going. And we were all freezing. And so we all ended up buying these, like this woman had these sweater coats that she had made with like upcycled sweaters. And she made a killing on that Saturday because like nobody was buying her sweater coats, right? No one was buying her sweater coats. And you know, and like if you've ever vended somewhere, like you know how like, you know, that first day and then like it was a 3-day event, right? So that first night it was warm. I was literally wearing a like sleeveless corset and a satin skirt and I was walking around perfectly fine. It was not cold, right? And then we woke up on Saturday morning and it's cold. I was like bruised from the corset. We had to stop in the Starbucks parking lot and because I had corsets bought for every day of the event and they were like real corsets, right? And they were really pretty, but they were too long for my torso. I have a very short torso. Luckily, the fabulous multidimensional Baddie that I was traveling with, they fit her perfectly. So she ended up taking half my corsets off my hands and I kept the other one for like aesthetic purposes, never wore it again. I kept it for the nostalgia, but because it was like a total steampunk belle look. That I had done. So it was like a brown corset and it was like a golden skirt, but it was like a very like bronzy, like bright brown, or no, it wasn't bronzy. I didn't get the bronzy one. It was like a chocolate brown corset. I've got pictures somewhere. I'll have to find them. But it was like a chocolate brown corset and then like a golden skirt and it was like a very belle vibe. And I had like a fur, like it was like fake fur. I got it from Target, but it was like a purple, like aubergine, like fake fur stole that I was wearing, like little fabulous, the velvet choker, obviously, you got to go Bella Poke babe, curled hair, like whole 9 yards of makeup. I think I had my steampunk hat on with it that I had made. I seem to remember wearing that. Anyways, vibes. And I had curled my hair in perm rods that I wore on the drive down to Steampunk November. And then like the tent went for a ride the next morning and Gwen had it taken care of before I got there. I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school with Gwen. And then she was my first assistant. It was fabulous. So yeah, it was fun. We like to keep it in the family, people. Multidimensionally speaking. Yeah, so turns cold, that like there was like a storm overnight. Like we leave Steampunk November on Friday. It's like still pretty warm. We stop at Whataburger. It was great. Went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. I'm like, I cannot wear a corset. So she ends up like taking this corset off of me in the Starbucks parking lot. All I had with me was my Him hoodie, the band Him. So I put the hoodie on over my corset, and we're standing in the parking lot, and she's like pulling the corset off of me in the parking lot, like under the hoodie. Like it was like very, like I'm like behind like this fucking car door because like I couldn't breathe. Like it was really, it was like, it was not vibing. I was like, I was in so much pain. My fibromyalgia was like, hell no. I know the manifestation people are like, don't call it yours. And I'm like, well, I've lived with it for so long. I've tried doing that. I've tried like ostracizing the fibromyalgia that I have been diagnosed with since I was 19 years old and have lived with every single day since then. I've tried ostracizing and getting rid of it, and that hasn't happened. Like that really hasn't worked. So I've just decided to be like, you're mine and I love you. And then see if maybe that like starts to absolve some of the pain. Maybe if I just love the pain, it'll stop hurting me. I don't know. It's a new technique I'm trying. When you've lived in chronic pain long enough, you'll start trying some really weird shit. So like, it's like that's a new option that I'm trying. Anyways, multidimensional baddie shit. Like we just try shit out, just neutral, just give it a go. Like, what's this like? What does this do? Like we need the data. Do it for the codes. So anyways, it got cold and this lady had her sweater coats. And so we got to Steampunk November that Saturday morning, and I ended up going and buying like clothes to wear. And I ended up in this I think it was like literally a Fredericks of Hollywood like bustier, but it was black and it looked really good. And I was like, I'm buying this. And then I bought like some fabulous blouse to go with it. Just wore different skirts the next 2 days. I was like, fuck this. I was being way too extra. I had a separate outfit for each day. And so, but I still had a separate skirt for each day. It was fabulous. So, but then it got cold and the cape that I had was not working. So we all ended up in these sweater coats. They were like, the construction was interesting. And they were definitely, it was 2017 and they were like $250 to $450 a piece. Wow. Which was a decent amount for our wealth ceilings back then, if you remember. And she sold out Saturday night because it was so cold, and most people who go to this event go for all 3 days, and especially like the vendors. And yeah, so we all ended up with a sweater coat, and then we were like, well, clearly we're a Coven now. And it was funny too, because like other people that we hadn't traveled there with, they had ended up being there, and a lot of people ended up with sweater coats. It was fun. So, but then the T-Punk Tees people, it's cold and it's like Saturday night. And I'm wearing it was like I might still have it. I can't remember if I still have it or not. But it was like this fabulous like purple and black brocade, Victorian style, flat front with the bustle in the back, like skirt. And then like I had a black blouse on. That was giving it like a little bit more of a slightly like Edwardian look, but it's fine. We were mixing our time periods, that happens if you've lived for a few decades. Who cares? Sometimes your clothes are slightly out of date. Who gives a flying fuck? Like, they didn't go into that theory very well, and like all of theater and Hollywood and stuff. Like, I've never heard that discussed about blending time periods. It was like very like you had to be on one time period. Like it was crazy. Anyways, and then they completely just threw that out the window and were like, "What's a time period?" With mainstream film and TV and stuff. So there's that. Anyways, they had tea and they were serving samples. And the best part was the samples came in an actual teacup with a saucer, because it's Steampunk November and everything's extra as fuck, and people are walking around with like their, we were, but lots of other people were too, like walking around with their like paper plates of pizza from the food truck on a silver platter, because it was Ren Fair people. Okay, like I think that explains it. Like it was like Ren Fair, and it's like the nerdy Ren Fair people who like Ren Fair, like, you know what I mean? Like they've got an entire Ren Fair closet in their house, and they have the era correct like garments and stuff, and like it's the nerds, right? So yeah, so they have actual like teacups, and they were serving everyone tea, and they were selling tea as fuck, and they would serve you like you could go and just buy a cup from them as well, which I thought was brilliant. So they serve you, like a little sample and like, they had like, I think they had Dimitasse cups, for the samples. And it was like, and it was very elegant and fabulous. And then, there's fairy lights all throughout. And it's because it's in the middle of like a field and a forest, right? So you're sitting literally in, the middle of a field and a forest with all of these tents, and they're very extra. And there's, wooden furniture everywhere because they had built like this big campground, like experience place. The owners of this, that do this, they had built like a lot of, they had built seating from, when they were, removing trees, they were reusing the trees for the seating. And it was like very like eco-friendly based and stuff that they had done, when they were cutting, when they were clearing, paths and, spaces for the event, they were reusing the, the timber and stuff that they were removing from the land and stuff. It was really cool what they were doing. Yeah. So it was really fun. But then there were also some demons in the Mirkwood, as we called it, out back. And that was funny because we were like, I had like all of this incense and smudging accoutrements. It was like my first big like event that I had like my merch and supplies and tools, and I had wind chimes and mortars and pestles and very witchcraft like centric 2017 fall energy. I think you're picking up the vibe I'm putting down, okay? We got to put together, I want to put together I've got pictures and videos and stuff from this event. I think it'd be really cool to put together like a walkthrough of some of the stuff that I've done, so that people could see like I've led a very magical life on purpose. And I think it'd be cool for people to be able to see that. And I've documented all of it. I've got over 100,000, pieces of media from the last 10 years. That I've collected of these experiences that I've had and trips that I've gone on and places I've gone. And a lot of them were via, I've got videos, I've got photos, and then I've got live photos as well, which are like little mini movies. And I would often take like 10 pictures of the same thing so that I'd get all of that like live footage hidden in there. So it's pretty cool, like what I've put together. And I think there's just so much cool stuff that I really want to do with it, and so many cool things that you guys could see, that would maybe, like tune you into a world that we really can't experience right now, and also tune you into ideas for, new things that we're here to create. I think that would be fun. I think those are assets that, I think we really want to work on this year. And that's part of the kind of like coming up with stuff just as you go and going with the vibe and stuff. Cause I'm like, damn, like, I should really put together like just the stuff, whatever I've got from it. But just stuff like that. There was something so magical about a lot of the places that I went, and I was very choosy about the places that I went and the stuff the footage that I shot and the things that I've got and stuff. And I'm like, I really want to show that to people. Like there's all of this, honestly, art sitting here in my phone that no one's ever seen. And I would love to be able to create something with that. So I think that's cool. That's a cool idea that I've just had live. And that's the whole principle of lifestyle camera action, aka fall, in the 4 seasons of multidimensional business. Whatever the fuck we're doing. I don't know. Words! Oh, God, I'm so tired of having to come up with words and calling things and stuff. I don't think I'm going to take a creative sabbatical from making sense. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be nonsensical for a year. If you know, you know. And if you don't, too bad. It's going to be like Alice in Wonderland. Gonna give Alice in Wonderland vibes. I think that's the vibe. On that note, we've actually done 2:12 now, and I've got to end it right this second so that we do that. So love you, bye.